Awesome.
One deadly beloved, we gather here today, not as a farewell to the flesh, but to induct one of the last survivors into the zombie brotherhood. Today, John has agreed to be bitten by his decaying fiancée, Tiffany. Theirs is an undying love, and it's our job as witnesses to this union of two such hunters that we remind them whenever asked why they are here today. Perhaps the hardest thing to overcome in our transformation from human to zombie is the need for love. Even when the pulse has vanished and our bodies begin to putrefy, the need for love and to be loved is still there. How many of our breathing brethren mistake our simple need for companionship as an intent to harm and maim and consume? They would slice our heads off without so much as a blink, when all we really want is love, to be accepted, and of course, brains. Tiffany loves John, and John loves Tiffany, despite their different states and point of view. And so, to solemnize their commitment to each other, they chose this time and this place to share that love with all of you. And if you believe that Tiffany and John should be together forever until the end of time, roaming the earth with each other, can I have you affirm this by saying, brains? Brains! Excellent! John, you become this flesh-eating before this flesh-eating horde to take the hand and the rest of Tiffany to be your lawfully wedded ghoul. Do you promise to keep her chained and yet free? Return the page. To never cut off her head, oh sorry. To be ever vigilant against her hunger, to bring her brains when she asks, and even though you feel like you could die, to preserve her forever in the best possible condition, till the end when your flesh turns to ash. If so, please say, I do.
I do.
And Tiffany, on this day in the presence of the multitude surrounding you, do you take John to be your lawfully wedded keeper? Do you promise to bite him always gently? To do your best not to attack him for his tasty, succulent flesh? To be as obedient and as attentive to him as your undead brain will allow? And to make him, and him only, your snack until such time as someone figures out a weapon that takes both you out together? And if so, please show your consent by saying brains.
Brains!
I don't have a ring. The ring presented here today represents so many things about marriage. The circle is the circle of the undead, the lives spent killing and eating, infecting so that our progeny of our kill can go on killing, and this continues this way in the undying chain until this big fat planet is covered with our kind, and our only kind washing away the blood of every survivor. And as metals used in this ring, they came forth, forged deep from the planet, from holes so deep and dark, so much more than our graves, that our brethren stumble from. You can do anything in this metal. You can make weapons of iron and steel, guns and knives, swords and pitchforks to fight back against the inevitable. You can create shields that defy the scrabbling fingers as they claw their way towards your tender flesh and enclose you in a false sense of protection. Or you can forge a token of your faithfulness to your love for one another, a promise that you will never be chained to another and devoted to each other for the rest of your unlives. So John, will you take this ring, this link, and present them to Tiffany? put it on her finger and say to her, with this ring I thee wed.
With this ring I thee wed.
Zombies, you stand here today not as individuals, but a collective horde with a common bond and goal. Today, Tiffany is transformed from a zombie to a survivor and is accepted by their clan. Sure. And to those who would try to outlast the reign of the undead, John today is destined to pass as the fate of all of life. And all of them must die. So he commits the remains of his life and his breath to the zombie love. Your collective eyes have witnessed here the birth of a new life together, rising from the grave to shamble on for all eternity. So by the power vested in me, by the state of Washington, I pronounce you survivor and zombie